I see that Bank of Georgia was recently recognized as the world's best digital bank, according to Global Finance magazine, which, congratulations, that is a very impressive accomplishment to win out over so many other banks. Do you think that there are core principles or practices that put Bank of Georgia in position to be recognized as the world's best digital bank?
Thank you. Well, congratulations. For the past several years, we have competed in this competition and gained many prizes, but this was the first time we have been recognized as the world leader. Our religion is customer centricity, and we measure everything that's related to customer. And our main goal is to replace every product or service that we have in offline channels as a mobile application. So the basic principle that if the customer satisfaction score is high enough, we think that it's good to go that direction. If not, we will rework it and do something else. That's how we reach that state where we can compete with the very large banks with very big technology departments.
It sounds like you have a very strong culture around collecting data and providing data to everybody across the team. Is that accurate?
The whole company. Everyone is obsessed with customer satisfaction. Everyone is obsessed with the user experience that user has to go through in order to buy something or get a service. And every person, starting from the operator that's sitting in the branch or engineer who is working on the application, has information where we stand and what is our goal each quarter, each year. And we beat our expectations. And that's the idea that we have all the information accessible to everyone.
So I'm curious, what led you to begin looking for a tool like GitClear? Was there a particular opportunity that you had identified?
So we have had IT team for many years, but we have expanded very much. Currently, we have more than 400 engineers who contributed to our code bases. And of course, when we had only 80 engineers, it was much easier to understand how we progress. But 400 is absolutely different. We need much more data that statistically will provide insights. We didn't want to make decisions based on our feelings. There were several key factors. And one is that the concept of big data was very unique. And we saw that it's something that we can relate to, and it's very quantitative, and we can see how it will be used. Also, as a company, you had very good scientific articles, which gave us the idea that you are creating data-based decisions. And data is something that you are very carefully using as a decision tool. And one more thing is that price was very attractive. So everything that we looked at, similar tools, you had it and some extra.
And have you seen changes to your pull request stats since you started using GitClear?
Yes, in several areas, we have seen improvements, especially where we wanted to make some changes. That's not easy to do because we needed to add more experts and engineers who are more capable to have this approver status and to review faster and faster. But yes, we have seen at least 10 to 15% reduction in the under review time.
That's great, especially when you combine that with the volume of pull requests that you're processing.
Yes, more than 10,000 pull requests per year.
And a 15% reduction on the cycle time of those 10,000 pull requests.
Yes, I know that it's at least half a day per PR, and that's important.
Yeah. So what are the metrics or the reports that the executives have been most interested in?
One of the metrics that we're looking at is provenance, because we want to check out what kind of rework and what's the code that we are writing. Is it something new? Are we getting new things, or are we going back to something in past weeks and making reworks there? If there is a rework in the past year, that's not a big deal for us because it's usual, but we have a high alert that we do some big number of changes in the past several weeks' work. We need to have more attention on that team. Also, lingering pull requests is something that managers look at. That's something we deep dive as well, because we want to understand why is it something that we have not touched for several weeks, and how can we unblock that pull request or maybe close at some point.
How about the developers? Have you introduced DiffDelta to your developers? And if so, what's their reaction been?
Yes, we have introduced GitClear to our engineers, and we have received positive feedback. Mostly, they're looking at all the features that pull requests have in GitClear, because that's the main work area day by day. But velocity and DORA metrics that give us statistics is important. So basically, engineers are people who like data, and it's one other source for data, and they're very positive about that.
Bank of Georgia has now deployed GitClear across your 500 developers. Have you seen a change in the diff delta for your team since GitClear was introduced?
We have seen it past year around 25-30% increase in some areas. For example, I manage one part of our IT department, and we have seen tremendous growth. Also, we are expanding and we are recruiting people, and we see how our teams grow and how we can handle them. And everything that we do eventually translate into higher velocity, and we have achieved a great deal of success there.
Have you shared that increase in velocity with your team?
Yes, the team members know exactly where we are and what we have had in the previous year. So everybody is excited because this kind of gains are not usual for every year. At least we did not have a chance to look at it before. And now we can see clearly that our actions have consequences and we achieve more and more.
Yes, absolutely. Was there any other thoughts that you had about GitClear or how it's helped the team before we go?
I think GitClear is simply one of the best things that give us the idea, how are we moving? Is it good enough for our company? Is it fast enough? So that's one other thing that's very important, peace of mind that we know something exactly, not based on the feelings.
Yes, making decisions with data is a key aspect of companies that win awards like Best Digital Bank in the world. And Bank of Georgia has succeeded beyond expectations with that. So you guys are doing a lot of stuff right.
It's very data-driven, and I see in your articles, in your updates, and the product that you make, it's very developer-centric. It's based on the data itself. And not only for the managers, but for everyone that's using GitClear, either engineer or executive or anyone that's logging in to GitClear. So I'm grateful for that.